So here we are with the Hisense U8G. I'm showing this image on another LED set to really, again, talk about blooming again versus the Sony X95K. A lot of people feel as though I'm being unfair to Sony, so I wanted to show you the same thing, the same way, with a different television. My camera is set to f2.8, my ISO is set to 400 so that we can really exaggerate the blooming. Now, for full disclosure, when I did the review for the Sony, my ISO was at 320, 250, and even in some cases as low as 125, and you were still able to see blooming. I'm at ISO 400, and the blooming is so negligible here that it's a joke. The 360 zones of full array local dimming on the Hisense U8G are absolutely buttoned up to a beautiful degree. Sony and their master processing capabilities couldn't even figure out algorithmic programming on their mini LED master backlight drive. Now, the only reason why, again, you would pay the markup for the Sony over the Hisense U8G is that master backlight drive with mini LED technology. But the thing is, looking at a 360 zone Hisense U8G 65-inch that goes retail for, I think, $999 right now versus the damn near $3,000 what Sony is charging you, it is very easy to see that there is a big issue with black levels. Huge. I mean, just the difference is massive, day and night. And I'm angry about it because I was really excited for the television, man. I wanted the X95K to deliver. I wanted it to be one of my next TVs. I waited for it for over a year. I get it, and then I look at it, and the TV is so irredeemable that I literally couldn't even create beautiful settings for it. That's how bad it is. The haze on that TV and low light campfire scenes is massive. If you're an anime watcher like myself, when you get to low light scenes that have, much like what we're looking at right now, color on a black background, you're going to notice that, like, when subtitles pop up, you're gonna see a lot of blooming. It's disgusting. And it ruins the experience and sours it to a great degree. And that's not the only example it happens. There are so many other examples where the Sony X95K just failed to deliver. Now, full disclosure here, I am exaggerating my ISO up to 400. And if you look very carefully, you can clearly see that the Hisense on this same exact image that the Sony was struggling with is not exhibiting half the issues, man. Now, what's so impressive about this test, we're doing this in a dark environment. That Sony test was done with daylight. Could you imagine how bad it looked on my end when the lights went down? Now, I didn't even put that test up because I already knew everyone would throw a stink. Manipulated results, it doesn't look like that. All that stuff I usually hear every year. But the thing is, Hisense is hitting so much harder out the gate. And when this is the case over and over again, you kind of have to ask, why are you even entertaining the idea of a Sony LED? I mean, try as you might, you're gonna have a really hard time with normal movies finding disgusting tainted black bars on the Hisense U8G. Every scene that I showed on that Sony looks magnificent here. Now, one thing that I was really shocked with was this image right here. So if we look, this is Trinity from The Matrix. You can clearly see she doesn't have that same level of glowing or haloing that was around her shoulder here on the Sony X95K. This is dark room. Yo, let's raise that ISO even higher, right? Let's raise it. I mean, like, if you raise it, you can artificially create blooming here. It will pick up that light trail, but you get the idea. We're at ISO 640 right now. It's pretty ridiculous. Lowering it back down, here we are. You can see exactly what I'm seeing on my end. I can even try to over-exaggerate it a bit just to be dramatic, right? And you don't have the same level of blooming. Again, 360 zones of full array local dimming versus mini LED with an unspecified amount. I mean, let's look at this image. This image was horrible on the Sony X95K. This is like OLED right now for me. Like, I can't tell a difference if I really, like looking at it at a glance. Now, there is faint blooming at the top here, right up here, very faint blooming. You can see it, but it is faint. Now, be advised, my ISO is over-exaggerated. We are upwards of over 400 on the ISO. I'm doing this on purpose because I really want to do everything I can to make this TV look as bad as possible with the black bars. And they're inkier the mini LED with master backlight drive. What's supposed to be lauded as this algorithmic genius in local dimming performance, in case anyone is confused right now. Now, I did see a YouTuber say something to the effect of, oh, Quantum's just negatively reviewing all televisions that magically he sends back, or something along those lines. I guess I didn't get the memo for the TCL S546, Hisense U8G, and honestly a list of other televisions, like even the Sony X80K. I liked that better than I liked the Sony X95K for cost of value, what they offered. It was just a better television. I was actually more impressed, especially with the out-of-the-box colors and calibration. There can be no doubt in anyone's mind that if you look at an image like this, that comparatively with the Sony X95K was terrible and had horrible black levels, what are you doing? Like, again, I watch all of these complaints coming in from the AV community about my TV's not blooming. Man, I get so annoyed because the guys talking about like there's no blooming on the Sony X95K are the dudes buying the 75 and 85-inch variant. And mostly what I've seen is actually the 85-inch variant. If you got to pay that kind of money to escape blooming that shouldn't have been there in the first damn place, why would you buy that? Like, the fuck? Like, it makes no sense. Like, it genuinely, like, the dollars ain't adding up. Again, $9.99 Hisense U8G right here. Not even a selling point. I'm not even selling this shit at this point. It sells itself. I'm just telling you as it is. Sony's best is not their best anymore. And I've been watching this happen since the end of 2017. 2018 hit. From 2018 to today, Sony has just been shitting on their consumers and calling it rain. Okay? It's disgusting, man. They literally try us so hard. Oh, master backlight drive, mini LED, better than full array, exceptional precision. Fuck that, man. Stop lying, though. Like, I'm pissed about it because, like, the X95K was supposed to be my it from Sony. Finally, they replaced the 900E. They didn't. It was so, bro, like, you guys don't understand why I'm mad. Like, I'm so mad about this thing because, like, my hopes were up and I got disappointed. I shouldn't have had my hopes up, I know. But like, the black levels are a problem. Again, like, Hisense just dogged them so hard, and it's just like, I can't even right now with Sony. Like, I'm pissed because it's like, every year is like this though. At the end of the day, man, this is one of those things where either you're gonna take the information or leave it. I understand that, but the Sony X95K is a hard pass. It is one of the worst TVs I've ever seen from Sony. And I mean that wholeheartedly. The out-of-the-box color is overly blue, very cool, pale. The image quality is hazy. The black levels are subpar. You know, it's not better than their X900F, frankly. And that's a 2018 television. And the X900F, frankly, was better because it had more dynamic range and it was really good at highlight detail. And this TV just overexposes everything, the X95K to be very specific here. And again, Sony's direction has just kind of been like, buy our OLED or else we're gonna give you shitty LED products. I told you guys they were gonna do this the moment they came out with the A1E back in 2017, and then the moment they started coming out with all the other OLEDs. Every time a manufacturer goes OLED, you almost immediately see the hit to their LED line to make you buy the step-up model, because how are they going to sell you on deep black levels, razzle-dazzle your mind, right, with next-level imagery, when there's a Hisense U8G step-down model for less money giving you beautiful black levels like this in a dark room? How are they? What's the proposition value? What are they selling at this point? What can they give you? Nothing. And that's the point.